Okay.
Thank you.
Our dearest Father in heaven, we are so very grateful to be able to get up and get moving and enjoy this morning and to learn and grow together. We are grateful for the resources that Thou hast blessed us with, that we may evaluate our lives and our habits and do things that will help us to be more productive in sharing plexus with others and in improving all aspects of our lives. Pray that that will help us in our efforts to put these things to use and help them to become part of who we are. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Thank you. All right. We are on page 77. Start our timer. Okay. We're talking about the rule number 2 of doubling your rate of saying no. So we're finishing up that section. At first, I didn't love it, but I respected it. I personally get invited to lunch or coffee at least 3 times per week. This is 12 to 20 times per month, and I say yes to 1 time every other week at most. The reason is simple. I'd love to hang back and go to lunch or coffee. However, as a content producer, writer, podcaster, video creator, coach, and entrepreneur, I know myself. The moment I go to lunch, the social part of my brain is at full force and I'll never get back to work. Sounds like me. In other words, my day is lost once I say yes to a lunch. Having this self awareness in your life is crucial too. Rule number 3, commit to a practice. Focus is a practice, which means you're building a skill. Much like flexing a muscle at the gym, you get stronger the more you use it. This is why in my coaching and mastermind groups, we have a purpose component to our morning routine. It's designed to do one thing for our business to ensure that even if we have the most chaotic day in the world, we at least moved our business forward 1%. If you want to harness the power of focus, you have to flex the muscle every single day. This may sound overwhelming, but it's not. If you're starting out, your practice can be as simple as 20 minutes of undistracted deep work. What you choose to do with this time is all on you. Once you've proven you can do it for at least 45 days, add time. I share some incredible resources below and in the back of the book to keep you in check and living the data part of the code we described earlier. When we practice, it's much more important to do it daily for an hour than to do it twice a week for 3 hours. Duration is less important than intensity and consistency. Practicing means you're in it for the long game, and it's a daily application. Once we understand this, we take the pressure off ourselves and focus on the next step waiting for us. We trade our love for tomorrow for the realities of today. Slowly, you'll start to look forward to this quiet, undistracted you time. Tools to master. The thing that I have a problem with is I'm like, when I try to schedule that, I feel like I'm wasting time. Do you ever feel like that? I'm like, I take me time in the morning, but I feel like I'm doing something. But I never like reading a book like this. I'm helping my team, right? But like reading a book just for myself, I feel like this is fun. Like this doesn't count as like deep work, And so I have to like change my mindset around. Like, no, it is good. So funny. The things our brain just tells ourselves, right? Tools to master. Focus requires high amounts of attention, and without tracking, we'll get lost. Ask the average American how productive they feel, and they'll grossly overestimate. The truth is, the average American is productive for 2 to 3 hours a day. Yes, you read that right. It's disaster out there. Between coffee breaks, countless check ins, interruptions, and open workspace, we're laughably terrible at productivity. While an argument can be made that the reason for this is our disconnection from work, the truth is much more complex. You and I are in the process of rewiring our brains, constantly seeking the next dopamine stimulus, and we're paying a heavy price. The resources section of this book is packed with all the tools I've used to sharpen my sword and focus. They've also been proven with countless others. Below, I'll highlight the most relevant you can start using now to become a master of focus, productivity, and your own version of deep work. Remember, at the end of the day, these are simply tools. They won't do the work for you or turn off your favorite TV show in the background. They'll work if you work them. Pomodoro. This is the second time I heard this word this week, and I don't remember ever hearing it before that. Interesting. Take a moment to reflect and answer the following questions honestly. When was the last time you did any undistracted work? When was the last time you didn't check email upon waking? When was the last time you spent a few hours on airplane mode? If you're like most, the answer is you haven't. But you're reading this book, so take that as a win. Hopefully, it will compel you to action. If all I did was make you feel good, I wouldn't fulfill my mission. One of the most powerful tools I've ever encountered for extreme levels of focus is known as the Pomodoro technique. This technique was made famous by Francesco Cirilo and is based on performing 25 minutes of completely undistracted work, followed by a 5-minute break. This would be one Pomodoro. After doing 4 cycles, you take a 15 to 20-minute break. And there's like Pomodoro timers. That's where I heard it. Like it's like a just a little white timer, but it like you do the timer and it's like a color. Like it's really I don't know. I really like it with my eyes, like the color. It's cool. It seems way too simple to most people when they read it or I teach it. However, for these 25 minutes, you're zeroed in on one task. No email, no social media, no phone, no text, no conversations, nothing but the work in front of you. There's a reason why the system is so popular. It works. There's an art and science to the 25 minutes. By the time you get frustrated and challenged, you're close enough to the finish to stick it out. Once you start accumulating some Pomodoros, you won't want to stop. You will be amazed at your level of output in a couple sessions and it'll become addicting. You can find resources around this tool in the back of the book. If you're just starting out, I want you to begin with the smallest possible denominator. You're going to perform one Pomodoro time block every single day. It doesn't matter who you work for or what you do, use it for your current career, for a passion, or to sharpen a skill. Don't start with 6, that's not realistic. Start with 1 and watch what happens during the next 30 days. As we mentioned, as part of the code of the 1% rule, tracking is absolutely non negotiable. It must happen on a daily, weekly, quarterly, and yearly basis for success. Early on, you're going to keep it simple or else you'll fail. In the resources section of the book, I'll list my favorite tools to manage, track, and understand the metrics behind your focus. Slowly, this will become your secret weapon for tracking your focus. Paving the superhighway. Before we move on, I want to remind you not to be so hard on yourself. You're going to get inspired and excited about what's possible from reading this book. However, you're also going to fight your fair share of resistance. Let me explain. Right now, you're operating on a superhighway of habits, rituals, and ways of operating in life and business. Most of these aren't conscious to you, they're automatic. This highway has been paved and hundreds of thousands of miles have been put on it. When you're ready to make a change, for example, inserting Pomodoros into your experience and not checking email until 10 a.m., it's going to be hard. When I say hard, I mean really hard. This behavior isn't wired into your brain, so it looks like an unpaved patch of dirt in a third world country. The neural connections need time to create new pathways in your brain, so be easy on yourself. Remember the core ethos of the 1% rule. I insist this reminder at the end of the focus chapter because I've taught this system over and over and seen people set ambitious goals only to revert back to their status quo and feel frustrated. Steady progress will win the race, and slowly you'll start to build a new network of neural connections designed to keep you in focused work for longer durations of time. You'll reap the benefits that come with knowing where you're going and being able to prove to yourself you're on your way. And then here's the application. It's time to see where you are in terms of your focus in craft a game plan going forward. On a scale of 1 to 10, no 7 allowed, here's my current level of focus on a daily basis in regard to my purpose, mission, business, income, and influence. Here's what happens the first hour of the day, including media consumption, smartphone use, email, and other distractions. Ooh, that's going to be interesting to write that down. Sometimes I think, I'm so productive in the morning. And then sometimes I'm like, I was on my phone for like 20 minutes just now. Whoops. Based on the above, identify and commit to one new practice and behavior change that will make you more likely to have a productive and focused morning or day. Okay, we're going to start chapter 6, persistence. She became the first author on the Forbes billionaire list by creating one of the most successful book franchises of all time. However, if we look back, it could have easily never happened. On the verge of a personal crisis and considering suicide, J.K. Rowling was living off government assistance and her world was spiraling out of control. In her words, an exceptionally short lived marriage had imploded, and I was jobless, a lone parent, and as poor as it is possible to be in modern Britain without being homeless. By every usual standard, I was the biggest failure I knew. Yet she persisted through countless rejections and committed to the creative process. Regardless of the chaos in her life, she was able to experience the quantum success of the Harry Potter series, which led her to wealth, fame, and stardom. If clarity and inspiration get us started, persistence is the grit beneath it all. It's messy and keeps you going long after the high of starting has worn off. Persistence. Yes, I know. Sometimes when I start a new habit, I'm like, I can't get it perfect. I just want to give up. Right? Are you like that too, Jess? But it's about the process, like the imperfect process. So, all right, if you want to work together today, like you just let me know. We can set up a time. Okay. Rebecca's coming over here, so I don't know if you're like getting out yet, but you're welcome to come over.
I have a lot to do today. I'm helping my mom with some stuff, so.
Aw, fun. No worries. You just let me know.
Okay.
All right. Have a good day.